December 1952, London. The city, known for its fog, is about to face an unprecedented catastrophe. A chill settles, not unlike any other winter, but this time it carries a sinister undertone. But this year, something is different. The air feels heavier, more oppressive. A dense fog rolls in, a noxious blanket smothering the city. It's not just fog, it's a toxic shroud. Chimneys cough out coal smoke, feeding the growing monster. Visibility drops, streets vanish, and the city is swallowed whole. Londoners, caught unaware, cough and wheeze in the yellow haze. The air is thick, almost tangible, choking the life out of the city. Days turn into nights, but the darkness is constant. The sun is a distant memory, obscured by the relentless fog. The air, thick with sulphur and grime, claws at throats, burns eyes. Every breath is a struggle, every step a challenge. Hospitals overflow, filled with those struggling to breathe. The medical staff is overwhelmed, the resources stretched thin. The death toll mounts, a grim statistic in a city struggling to survive. Each day brings more casualties, more heartbreak. The fog, once a nuisance, becomes a killer. It seeps into homes, schools and workplaces, sparing no one. Over 4,000 souls claimed in a matter of days. Families mourn, the city grieves, and the world takes notice. The world watches in horror, a stark warning of industrial progress gone wrong. The tragedy is a wake-up call for all, yet for us this is just the beginning. The fog lingers, a constant reminder of the disaster. Imagine, if you will, the fog never lifting. A perpetual twilight where the sun never breaks through and the city remains in shadow. Panic sets in. The once familiar streets now feel like a maze of shadows and uncertainty. The air remains heavy, visibility rarely exceeding a few feet. Every breath feels laboured, as if the city itself is suffocating. London, once a bustling metropolis, slows to a crawl. The vibrant energy of the city is replaced by an eerie stillness. Streets, once teeming with life, are eerily deserted, save for the hacking coughs echoing through the fog. The silence is deafening. Daily life becomes a struggle. Schools close, businesses shutter. The city's heartbeat slows, its pulse barely detectable. People, confined to their homes, venture out only when absolutely necessary. The fog creates an invisible barrier, trapping them inside. Even then they move like phantoms, faces covered with makeshift masks, fear etched in their eyes. The masks offer little comfort. The fog seeps into every aspect of life, a constant reminder of its suffocating grip. It invades homes, businesses and hearts. The city, once a symbol of empire, becomes a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the devastating power of unchecked industrialization. The fog is both a literal and metaphorical shroud. Years pass, the fog remains. London adapts, but at a cost. The air, perpetually thick with pollutants, becomes the new normal. Children are born into this world, never knowing a sky free of haze. Buildings, once grand, are now stained black by the incessant smog. Vegetation withers and dies, starved of sunlight. The River Thames, once a bustling artery, flows sluggishly, choked with industrial waste. Londoners, hardened by years of hardship, develop a resilience born of necessity. Life expectancy plummets, respiratory illnesses skyrocket. The city, once a beacon of progress, becomes a dystopian nightmare. Section 4. A nation adrift in the murk. The impact is not confined to London. The smog, like a malevolent entity, spreads its tendrils across the nation. Other industrial cities fall prey, their skies mirroring the oppressive gloom of the capital. The economy falters. Industries reliant on clear skies and healthy workers struggle to function. Agricultural output plummets as crops wither under the sunless sky. The government, initially slow to react, scrambles to find solutions. Mask mandates become law. Air filtration systems are hastily erected. But the smog, relentless and unforgiving, continues its suffocating reign. Section 5. A world holding its breath. The world watches, aghast, as Britain chokes under a blanket of smog and pollution. The once mighty empire, brought to its knees by its own industrial might, becomes a cautionary tale for a planet on the brink. International pressure mounts as the severity of the situation becomes clear. Environmental regulations are hastily enacted. Clean energy research receives unprecedented funding. Scientists and policymakers scramble to find solutions. The world, united by a common threat, finally begins to grasp the fragility of our planet. Nations come together, sharing knowledge and resources. Britain's plight serves as a stark reminder. Unchecked industrialization can have dire consequences. The lessons learned here are invaluable. We are all interconnected. Our actions have global repercussions. What happens in one part of the world affects us all. The time for complacency is over. Immediate action is required to prevent further damage. The future of our planet hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the world of tomorrow.